Obesity costs the NHS more than £4 billion a year, and at the other end of the scale, an estimated 1.6 million people are affected by eating disorders. Radical action is called for, so Dr. Christian summoned together 16 people with disastrous diets who all desperately need to ditch their dangerous eating habits before it's too late.
And for the first time, I'm bringing all the Supersizers and the Superskinnies together to face the scales for a mass weigh-in.
Before they're paired off, Supersize versus Superskinny.
I'm like 3 of you.
Dr. Christian will be checking them into the feeding clinic to confront their unhealthy relationships with food.
It's a shame that the eating's sort of overtaking your life.
To kickstart a healthier lifestyle.
The more honest you can be with yourself about how much you eat, then you're going to be able to deal with it.
And in this new series, our very own fat controller is in America's fattest city to learn the lessons of where it's all gone wrong.
I think we're reaching a crisis level, and it's getting worse.
In the hope that we can stop eating ourselves into an early grave. And back in the UK, we'll be delving into the world of eating disorders, as seen through the eyes of those who've suffered.
I've vomited blood before where I've put a tiny tear into my esophagus through the pressure of being sick.
And we'll be revealing how to spot the warning signs if you think someone you know may be at risk. Because it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. Over the past 30 years, obesity rates have trebled in the UK, with almost half of all men and a third of all women overweight. Dr. Christian's concerned, so to shock us into choosing a healthier future, he's come to America's fattest city, Evansville, where almost 40% of residents are clinically obese.
Where the US leads, the UK soon follows. With a quarter of us already classified as obese, it's predicted that by 2050, we'll be spending an extra £7.7 billion on obesity-related healthcare alone. What's happening here in Evansville is a very real future for us in the UK.
So far, Dr. Christian's witnessed the struggles that come with being grossly overweight.
Do you think this is a losing battle?
Sometimes it feels like a losing battle.
And what happens when obesity becomes fatal?
Oh, my goodness me.
This is our largest casket. It'll hold over 1,000 pounds.
It looks like a hot tub.
But stateside, it's not just the coffins that have supersized.
Because patients here are getting bigger and bigger, regular ambulances can no longer cope to transport them. So the hospitals have had to call in the services of these new supersize ambulances to transfer their obese and super obese patients.
We use it almost every other day. In fact, we got to run now.
Can I follow you?
Sure.
I won't get in the way, I promise
No
you.
problem.
This bariatric ambulance, or jumbulance, is 1.5 times bigger than a normal American ambulance, costs $250,000 and can cope with patients weighing up to 100 stone. In the UK, a standard ambulance can only cope with patients who weigh up to 30 stone, but bariatric vehicles are already hitting streets across the country. The West Midlands have added 4 to their fleet, and in London there's already a privately run service, as well as 2 NHS ambulances, with a third on its way.
So I'm just following the bariatric ambulance as it goes to pick up a lady. She's super morbidly obese. She needs to come into hospital for some treatment because she's got terrible swelling, edema, water retention in her legs. They get very, very large. She's very immobile, so we're going to go and pick her up now.
The lady in question weighs around 35 stone, so getting her to hospital is no mean feat. In fact, they've called in for extra support.
This is actually really incredible. The amount of work required just to move one patient. You need 2 vehicles and you need 4 paramedics. Think of the cost and the time and the amount of resources that are involved in just moving that patient.
Hello! How you doing?
Stacey, can I come say hi to you?
Yeah?
So you got this lipedema. This is all fluid and swelling, and this has all got to be brought down.
Yeah.
Stacey is 48 and suffers with lymphedema in her legs.
You all right, Stacey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stacey is harnessed to a supersized double stretcher.
You feel secure, safe?
Yeah.
OK, well, we're off.
Before being lifted by a specialist winch that is usually used to recover broken-down cars.
You can really see why a vehicle like this is so important. Getting a 30, 40, 50-stone patient up a ramp into an ambulance by manpower is really difficult. So this makes it a whole load easier.
The Deaconess Hospital is at the forefront of fighting fat in Evansville. Looking after Stacey is lymphedema therapist Stephanie Retter, who's going to be gently massaging the huge quantity of fluid that's built up in Stacey's legs back into her upper body.
Did you ever imagine you'd need all of this?
No.
And how do you feel about that now?
Sometimes I wish I didn't have all this fluid, because it does cause a lot of problems.
You who work on the front lines dealing with it, why do you think it's happening?
Too much convenience and not enough self-responsibility in many cases. I think that we've all just succumbed to fast food and we drive our car 2 blocks down the road instead of walking.
Do you think you're reaching crisis point with all this?
I think we're reaching a crisis level and it's getting worse.
That's a frightening thought.
It is.
I found the whole thing really quite eye-opening in the amount of people involved, the cost of the equipment involved, the sheer time it's taken to get her here to her appointment. The mind boggles how the NHS is ever going to cope with that. I have no idea.
Back in the UK, in a bid to avoid what's happening in the States, Dr. Christian is tackling dietary crimes at both ends of the scale by gathering together our 16 Supersizers and Superskinnies. They're beginning their journey of confronting their own unhealthy eating with the shock of confronting their opposites. And Dr. Christian is sizing them up, ready for what comes next. A table for 2 at his feeding clinic.
Hi, guys. I want to pair you off with each other, and I've got very specific reasons for doing that, which will become clear. So, Rob, come forward. And I want to match you up with Hayley.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm sorry, but I've never met anyone as big as yourself. You've got bigger boobs than I am. Firstly, I thought, don't touch me. Without being rude, and they were kind of sweating, and, you know, and I thought, please don't hug me, please don't hug me. You can feel my bones. Can you feel your bones at all? No.
She was a bit shocked, the size of me. I was a bit shocked with the size of her. You could see the bones from the back and the sides.
Rob and Hayley may be the same age and height, but when it comes to their diets and waistlines, they couldn't be more different. Hayley is incredibly focused about what she eats, whereas Rob just eats mindlessly. I'm hoping that their time in the feeding clinic will show them how extreme their diets have become.
"25-year-old youth worker Rob Gillett from Bridgend might only be a tiny 5 foot 3 inches tall, but he's a colossal 35 stone 10. Single Rob gorges on more than 7,000 calories a day, which has left him with a gut-busting waistline measuring 78 inches.
But mostly sweet stuff like sweets, chocolate, biscuits, cakes. I don't mind a pie once in a while. Not pie. I don't know if I don't like what I see, but when I come down to eat the food, I just want to eat it. Eat, eat, eat. I don't smoke, so my addictions are cola and cake.
Every day, Rob swills 4 litres of cola. And chomps on copious quantities of cakes, biscuits and donuts.
Yeah, I do like my donuts with cream in. They're my favourite. Most cakes I eat.
Rob's sugar obsession has come at a high price to his weight, and at 25 he only has 6 teeth left. Even when Rob's in the office, he doesn't stop eating.
Hold on 1 second, Joe.
We are concerned about his weight, and I think he's possibly been put in a bit on lately. The biscuit barrel is always empty.
I am a picker. I like to pick things. I'm always picking.
After a hard day's work, it's not long before Rob's tummy is rumbling again, and he's usually round to his gran's for a slap-up tea.
I like my nan's bolognese. I like any food. I think that's the problem.
I know I do spoil him, but all my kids, if they come here, if you want it, you have it, you know.
I do think my nan feeds me more than she should, but that's a granny thing, looking after your grandchildren.
Nice, isn't it?
At the age of 25, Rob has never had a girlfriend.
I don't chat to girls because I just don't see the point no more.
I'd love to see Rob out on the town, on the tiles, with, you know, with the lads, you know, pulling the women. Yeah.
And the most important reason to lose my weight is I can fit into fashionable clothes, be one of the lads, go out more, meet friends, just genuinely be a proper 25-year-old lad. Because at the moment, I'm not.
And having already suffered too many strokes in his teens, time's running out to turn his life around.
I do cry sometimes before I go to sleep. If I can't do something now, I'm going to die early.
Mortgage advisor Hayley Payne from Suffolk may be the same age as Rob, but incredibly, she's almost 30 stone lighter at only 6 stone 12. That's because she's always on the go and eating barely gets a look in.
Food completely takes a backseat in my life. It's something that I may have to do to keep alive, but it's a bit of an inconvenience for me, so it takes up my time. I run on quite a lot of nervous energy. The day I stop will be the day I crash.
In fact, hyperactive Hayley gets through the day on just spoonfuls of sugar and copious amounts of tea.
I love tea, an awful lot.
And come the evening, any remaining energy is spent on cooking for others, especially new husband Chris.
I tend to like to pile his plate up quite a lot because I like to see that he's eating a good amount. Mine tends to be a third of what he eats.
Yeah, Hayley's portions always fit for a sparrow, whereas mine is enough for an elephant to eat. I'm surprised I'm not 20 stone, the way I eat.
Hayley married Chris 6 months ago, but the realisation she'd become a bony bride has prompted her to want to change her ways.
My wedding day was definitely the biggest day of my whole life. I felt like I was the one that let it down by being so skinny.
Hayley's now at risk of damaging her health and being infertile, and obviously as a newly married couple, that's something we discuss, children and things like that.
I want people to look at me and think I'm healthy because I do want to have a family in the future. So massively determined just to start to feel healthy and get my life sorted, really.
Coming up, Hayley and Rob tackle each other's distorted diets in the feeding clinic.
He probably tells himself he has a bowl of cereal when he's actually had a whacking great plate of fry-up.
Rob heads to the USA for a wake-up call, courtesy of his supersized American host.
My name is Donna Simpson, I'm 44, and I'm 42 stone.
Before Dr. Christian turns up to deliver some alarming news.
Your body mass is the highest that I have ever had.
Supersize Rob at nearly 36 stone is about to swap diets with Superskinny 6 stone 12 Hayley. But before they do, Dr. Christian is sending Rob to the USA for a startling glimpse into his possible future. After a grueling 9-hour flight, Rob has arrived in Akron, Ohio, to meet his supersized American host.
Here we are.
Hi, I'm Donna.
I'm Rob. How are you?
Good to meet you. Come on in.
Okay, thank you.
A lifetime of comfort eating has left 42 stone mother of 2 Donna Simpson with serious health problems.
I have type 2 diabetes. I have sleep apnea. I stop breathing, then it's just impossible to sleep.
Donna's agreed to share her story with Rob, and like him, she's battled with her weight from a young age.
Yeah, I've kind of been fat since I was 5.
5?
Yeah, 5, I just started gaining weight all of a sudden. But see, when I was younger, my mother, over here in the States, we had called the Depression. She had, like, no food, and there was, like, 7 kids. So she was like, when I get married and I have kids, I am stacking the refrigerator, and we're going to have food, and they can eat as much as they want. Yeah. Well, she did that, and we did. So I was a real fat kid, got made fun of in school. Do you overeat a lot?
Yeah, sweet stuff.
When did you start overeating?
You know, just when I'm bored, I think, in the house.
What Rob doesn't know is that Dr. Christian is about to make a surprise visit to make sure his wake-up call really hits home.
Rob is swapping with Donna. Both of them have really bad mobility issues and health problems because of their weight, so I'm hoping that they're going to have got on and that Donna is really teaching Rob a lesson or two.
Well, she's beginning by taking Rob for his first taste of supersized American portions at her favourite restaurant. Amazingly, even Rob, who can consume 7,000 calories a day at home, is struggling to clear his massive plate.
To be honest, I was shocked how much she ate. Like, I had 1 starter, she had 2 or maybe 3. I'm really finding it overwhelming.
If Rob thought his monster burger was overwhelming, wait till he sees his cream puff.
Whoa. It's loads of cream. I like my cream, but this is way too much. That was over the top. Giant. Massive. Even though I like my cakes, I know now, if I want to lose weight, I need to cut loads of stuff out.
At just 6 stone more than Rob, Donna can't cope with walking more than a few yards and is confined to a wheelchair much of the time. And as Rob wheels her back home, he's getting a glimpse of his potential future.
It's very exhausting pushing Donna around because she's really heavy. You need to be a bodybuilder to push around people that size because I was struggling. I'm tired now.
Need a break?
Rob and Donna eventually make it back to the house, and it's not long before Dr. Christian's at the door.
Yeah, hi, Guy Phil.
Okay, sorry.
Surprise.
Oh, hello.
Rob.
Hiya.
How are you?
Okay.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
I thought I'd pay you a little visit,
Oh.
just to keep things on your toes, you know?
Yeah.
Hello, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, I'm Christian. I thought I'd just surprise this one. How's it been going, Rob?
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming?
Everything's so big.
You mean
Food-wise.
people or?
People as well.
Yeah.
It's just eye-opener.
And First up, Dr. Christian wants to see for himself that eye-opening diet of Donna's that Rob's been experiencing.
Oh, look at those. So chocolate is your weakness, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be mine right there. Weakness.
Are you tempted?
I am, but I'm not going to.
You're not going to? So you've already started your healthy living?
Well, it seems that Rob's revelation is well underway.
How do you feel about your weight now? You've been here for a little bit and you met Donna. What are your thoughts?
Well, I really need to lose weight.
Why?
If I get any more, I'd be like Donna. I can't be relying on people pushing me around in a wheelchair.
Do you think that might happen?
Yeah, it's quite to make me upset, actually, seeing it.
But Dr. Christian has another surprise in store. He's calculated that Rob's body mass index is an astounding 86, more than treble the healthy upper limit of 25.
You're a little bit in denial about your weight.
Yeah.
Your body mass is the highest that I have ever had.
Really?
Yeah, really. It's really important, Rob, that you know these things. I think you've lived a lot of your life in a bit of denial about the weight. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you have to stop that now.
Yeah.
Isn't it? If you really mean what you say, it's time you face up to these horrible truths. Yeah? And it's not too late. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. He's young. He can get into, you know, a good eating habit. Like, listen to me, 500 pounds. And
no, but what you're saying is correct.
Really, I think he's a strong young man, and he can do it.
Dr. Christian is leaving Rob with some serious food for thought. And it's time for Rob to bid farewell to Donna.
All right, well, we've had a good time.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wish you well on your journey.
Thank you very much.
And I know you'll do good. You'll do good.
Thank you. It's been nice meeting you.
Yes. Take it easy.
Bye now.
Be well.
Two weeks later, back in Blighty, Rob's attempting to break his dangerous dietary habits by checking into Dr. Christian's feeding clinic. And joining him with her altogether different approach to food will be Superskinny Hayley, whose unwillingness to eat is endangering her future. 6 stone 12 Hayley and 35 stone 10 Rob will spend the next 2 days swapping their extreme eating habits as a kickstart to a healthier life. But first, Dr. Christian wants to delve a little deeper into their respective calorie crises. Hayley's surviving on less than 850 calories a day, but is happy to feed everyone but herself, especially new husband Chris.
Why do you feel the need to sort of look after Chris and feed Chris and make sure he's healthy and not do the same for you?
I think if people see him being healthy, kind of be proud of the fact that I'm creating that nice family life, ready for children, that kind of thing.
My advice would be to absolutely enjoy that praise and carry on doing what you're doing, but just include yourself in with it. Because at the moment you're standing on the outside looking in at your happy family that you've built.
Yeah.
But you're part of it. You want to join them.
Yeah, of course I do.
Why do you think you don't deserve it? Of course you do. What does your partner say about all this?
He loves the fact that I look after him, obviously, but he doesn't like the fact that I've gotten to this kind of state. He always says he loves me, whatever, but he wants me to be healthy as well.
Yeah, exactly. He does.
Whilst Hayley needs to start being more selfish about feeding herself, cola and cake-loving Rob, who's putting away a shocking 7,000 calories a day, needs to take control for different reasons.
You're a very young chap, but you've already had medical problems, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've had these mini-strokes, so-called. Tell me what happened with those.
Like on my left side went numb twice.
I mean, what we'd call them medically is things called transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, which are like a temporary little bit of blockage to the blood supply to the brain that then clears itself. So you get the temporary effects of a reduced blood supply, which is funny feelings and paralysis and tingling on one side and loss of movement, but then it comes back again. But it is a bit of a sort of warning bell. What I've noticed in talking to you is you're an extremely nice chap. Extremely nice to the point of almost being a bit too nice. Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. And that's a lovely quality to have, but it's not going to do you any favours.
Okay.
And when it comes to your diet and your health, this now needs to be your priority.
Yeah.
And if it means being a little bit selfish and saying no to people and saying, actually, I don't want you feeding me that stuff, I don't want you bringing me this food, you know, you're going to have to put your foot down and do that. But do you think you've got the gumption in you to do that?
Yeah.
If required?
Well, it will be required, I think, yeah.
Well, Rob's resolve is about to be put to the test. It's time for Supersize and Superskinny to swap diets, in the hope that seeing someone else tackle their impossible portions will kickstart them into a healthier way of eating. First up for breakfast skipping Hayley, it's one of Rob's gargantuan fry-ups, whilst Rob is having to contend with 2 cups of tea, which for Hayley would be the first of an incredible 12 mugs of tea a day.
The portions here are huge. Even if I was having this for an evening meal, there is no way on this earth I'd have this much food. This is rank. Do you not worry about in the future, though, if you keep eating like this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're the same age as me, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah, so...
I have to be honest, you do look a lot older.
Thanks.
I can't believe you don't have anything for breakfast. Or something till this afternoon. I can't believe how you hang on to energy. How you got energy.
Well, Rob's giving as good as he gets, but he's soon on the back foot when it comes to defending those portion sizes.
You know, you say you don't normally have a portion size as big, or you wouldn't normally eat this. If I'm honest with you, I don't believe it. I don't at all. You must eat portions like this to get the size that you are. The more honest you can be with yourself about how much you eat,
I am.
then you're going to be able to deal with it. I think he's massively in denial. He probably tells himself he has a bowl of cereal when he's actually had a whacking great plate of fry-up.
Hayley said a few shocking things about how she don't believe my size of portions. And I just thought, well, she doesn't know me to have the right to challenge me.
If that's breakfast, and that's sort of supposed to be a smaller meal as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I'm massively concerned for the rest of the day.
But when lunch comes around, Hayley's hopes of escaping with a little snack are over.
Oh, my goodness.
As she's presented with a huge dinner of roast beef, potatoes, mash, carrots, peas and gravy, whilst Rob has to be content with a salami stick.
Basically, I was given, for my lunch, a long, thin salami meat. That was it. One. It's really hard to chew it with 60.
Just suck on it, it'll last even longer.
And the sparring continues across the dinner table.
Are you not looking at this thinking you wish you had some of this?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not even hungry?
No.
Okay. Every day you have a cooked meal for lunch, do you?
That's why I have one day a week. Well, no. Well, I have about a few times a week I cook dinner.
A few times a week. Nothing with Rob is clear-cut. It is a riddle, completely. Like, 1 minute I said to him, do you have a cooked dinner in the week? And no, it's all, I only have this on a Sunday. So I'm massively confused.
One thing Rob can't deny, and that's his sweet tooth. So for Hayley, there are 3 desserts. Bakewell tarts, trifle and crumble. All with cream, of course.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Thank you very much. How do you feel that you haven't got anything?
I'm fine. Honestly, I am fine.
It's Hayley's turn to test herself.
Are you enjoying that?
This is my last spoon.
Have another one after that.
No, this is my last
No, have another one. You might teach me a diet.
Okay.
This triple helping of treats isn't such a chore for Sweet Tooth Rob. Desserts are always on the menu, and he's often topping up with his favourite cream and jam-filled donuts. In fact, Rob gets through an average of 832 donuts every year. That amounts to a staggering 220,000 calories.
The sugar and the fat in the cakes that Rob loves so much are contributing to his colossal weight. I'm hoping that when he sees the sheer quantity of what he gets through, he'll think twice about tucking in the future.
So Dr. Christian is going to show him just what makes up his favourite sweet treats, before revealing the damage they could be doing to his body.
I have deconstructed your 832 donuts a year, and we're going to create that mixture now with all of this ingredients so you can see exactly what goes into them. And you're going to help me. We have 20 kilos of flour. Pick it up a bucket and chuck it into the cement mix for me. 52 eggs. That's it, get them all in. There are 6 litres of vegetable oil, so in it goes. Stirring away quite nicely there. What do you think, Rob?
It's making me feel sick.
It's making you feel sick. But, Rob, this is what you eat. So we're going to put 3 kilos of sugar into there. You do yours. In it goes. 10 kilos of raspberry jam is what goes into your year's supply of donuts. So let's pour all that in too, shall we?
Oh.
16 litres of whipping cream. What do you think?
Disgusting.
Every year, in total, that's 42 blocks of lard and almost 10 bags of sugar straight past Rob's lips.
Did you realise you were getting through quite that quantity?
No, I don't. It's quite embarrassing, really.
I suspect that a lot of your eating is what I call mindless eating. You fancy a donut now and again, but without thinking about it, it's added up to 16 a week, 832 a year, and this goes part the way to explain why the weight has been piling on over the years.
The high quantities of fat and sugar in Rob's donuts have played a significant role in his obesity, which in turn can lead to hypertension and high cholesterol levels, putting Rob at risk of a stroke. In his teenage years, he's already suffered 2 mini-strokes, so Dr. Christian wants him to face some hard facts about the medical impact of all those sweet treats.
This is a picture of an area of brain. All of this brain is healthy. It's this lovely white, creamy colour, and it's got these beautiful pink blood vessels all over it. Can you see there's a slightly different area there on there?
Yeah. Over here.
Yeah, and what's different about this area?
It's all yellowy and dewy.
Well, there's none of the pink vessels going into it at all, and that's because the main branch that would supply all this area has been blocked somewhere. For some people who have a clot blocking a blood vessel supplying an important part of the brain, that clot may never clear, and that part of the brain dies through lack of blood supply. If that part of the brain is on the outer cortexes here, then it's going to affect some sort of movement, and the most common thing you see is a paralysis, a droop of one side of the facial muscles, a paralysis of one side of the body, the arm, the leg. It can be extremely debilitating. You can end up being in a wheelchair and entirely dependent on other people to look after you. So it is really important that you change, Rob, because this could be a possible future for you if you don't.
When I saw the section of the brain that had a stroke, it quite upset me. That could happen to me any time.
Cake-loving Rob and food-averse Hayley are coming to the end of their first day of swapping diets to shock them into realising how unhealthy their portions really are. Hayley's last meal of the day is a double helping of Thai green curry with rice and cola, while Rob's meal is slightly less substantial, a slice of goat's cheese and a sour sweet.
I can't believe how small you eat this.
I was clearly just busy.
Busy?
Mm-hmm.
Hayley got me basically an empty plate with a slab of goat's cheese of that size and a sweet of that size. Ah, are you trying to kill me off?
I think you are.
Are you going to eat yours?
I'd love to say yes. But I don't think there's many people in this world that could eat that much of a portion for dinner.
It's quite shocking how much you eat. Let's be frank.
But having been confronted with her measly diet, which is putting her chances of having children in danger, Hayley's begun to grasp the need for change.
So far, I'm learning that I am capable of eating food. No one's making me not eat. It's purely down to me, and my excuses are rubbish at the moment. I need to start looking after myself.
Eating Hayley's diet does teach me that eating less is okay. Hayley has made a bit of progress today. She needs to push herself a bit further. And tomorrow I think she will do it. Morning. What? Fancy some toast?
It's day 2 in the feeding clinic, and while Rob sits down to a solitary cup of tea, Hayley attempts a sugar-loaded blend of toast with jam, 6 chocolate biscuits, orange juice and more cola.
How are you enjoying your tea?
How can you see this is energy to start today?
I get that. It's not. It's rubbish.
Yeah. I've always been taught breakfast is the most important meal, and you can't call it a breakfast.
No.
Hayley needs to eat more breakfast, because basically, when she drinks a cup of tea, no energy, no sugar, nothing in it. It's just pointless.
After having my toast and stuff, I've started to perk up a little bit. So really strangely, in a completely backward way, it has shown me that breakfast does actually perk you up a little bit as well. My energy levels now have actually started to increase after breakfast, which is a really, really nice feeling.
The penny seems to have finally dropped with Hayley that skipping breakfast every day is doing her more harm than good. But worried that Rob may still be in denial, Dr. Christian's asked him to take a trip down memory lane to help understand the root of his unhealthy habits.
I say the kids come in round about you.
How was school then? Were you bullied at all because of, your weight here?
Not bullied. But I was always past, the in crowd anyway. I was just the joke.
Okay.
Play the joke on.
Did you ever feel like the children were particularly playing the jokes on just you all the time?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Did that ever upset you?
Yeah, it did actually, yeah.
So the people have upset you quite a lot, and you've obviously never faced it, really, have you? You've instead just eaten cakes and things.
Looking at the photos have been really helpful, and I unlocked something. I realised that people were treating me like the class clown. Dr. Christian pointed out yesterday that I was Mr. Nice all the time, and he to start being more assertive.
That'll mean cutting out the comfort-eating cakes and saying no to the huge portions. Speaking of which...
Oh, my goodness. That's your lunch. And more cola as well, I see. Nice.
A Another salami stick isn't providing much consolation for Rob. His earlier reflections are still playing on his mind.
Oh, you just don't seem as happy as you did earlier. I'm a bit worried about you, really.
Like, sorry to do it, yeah, to be honest with you.
What parts of it?
Like the stuff I remembered from looking at one photo.
How did you feel when that sort of dawned on you?
I'm more upset than anything inside.
Yeah, but you didn't want to go for a cake?
No.
See, that's quite a breakthrough in itself, surely.
Yeah, it was a bit of a breakthrough, yeah.
Rob is beginning to deal with the emotional triggers behind his eating habits. But sometimes problems with food can indicate a more complex mental disorder. Last year, we put 3 women with eating disorders on a course designed to snap them out of their dangerous eating habits. The course was created and supervised by some of Britain's leading eating disorder specialists. On the course was Emma Paul, whose anorexia seemed deeply entrenched.
I'm constantly thinking about food all day, every day, constantly in fear of it.
Emma's weight had plummeted to as low as 5 stone, and she'd been hospitalised for 4 months before she took part in the course, led by dietitian Ursula Philpott.
She was so malnourished, so depressed, so withdrawn. The eating disorder affects everything. It scares me to think how many years I've lost already. I want a life.
16 months on, and Emma's unrecognisable.
People's reaction to me has changed. The amount of times I've bumped into people and sort of said hello and chatting away, and then they've realised a few minutes later who I actually am, and they've all said, you know, they didn't recognise me. I'm just so pleased to have the old Emma back. It's a new me.
During the 8-week programme, Emma had a plaster cast taken of her body, which made her realise just how bad her anorexia had become.
At the moment, I can't imagine myself bringing myself to look at it. I know I look bad. Just have a look. Just open your eyes and have a look. You don't want to look. Because it is just so skeletal.
And for Emma, shopping for clothes was a nightmare.
I find it very difficult to find clothes that fit. Most of the time I have to go into kids' sections. I just feel I'm not worthy of nice clothes.
But now things couldn't be more different.
I've got 2 things I'm pleased about being able to wear again. One of them is being able to get my jeans out again and actually to think I've got a backside. So it's like flat, and also totally embarrassing, but it's nice to be able to go out and get some nice bras now because I've got a chest again. Doing the programme helped me a lot, far more than I was expecting. I just desperately wanted my life back again.
It's been over a year since Emma met up with dietitian Ursula, and today they're meeting for lunch.
Wow! What a difference! Thank goodness! Wow! Yeah! That's amazing! That's absolutely amazing! I'm going to go for the risotto, which is the special. And I had the char grilled squid, please. Thank you. Thank you. What a difference in choosing. You know, you're straight there. Oh, this tastes good. This sounds lovely. It's a lot quicker, isn't it? Last year I would have been, oh, you know, how much fish is that? Is that too much fish? You know, what's a portion size? But no, it doesn't worry me this time. I'll sit down and enjoy it.
Recovering from an eating disorder takes a long time and dogged persistence. The average length in treatment is about 6 years.
If your friend or relative is recovering from an eating disorder, non-judgmental patience and support are really important. Not criticising, but explaining a healthy rationale for sensible eating is crucial, as is eating together and offering encouragement and support.
When I was anorexic, I could be sort of happy one moment and then really quite snappy and aggressive the next. You know, an incredible change, you know, really, really happy to see her in such good health. Now I feel a lot more chilled and can have a laugh again and enjoy life again. Cheers!
For more information on eating disorders and where to go for help, visit channel4.com/supersize. Back in the feeding clinic, it's time for the Last Supper, and Rob and Hayley seem to have turned a corner in their attitudes towards food. Hayley almost seems to be looking forward to her tea-time helping of 2 portions of chicken curry with rice and chips, whilst Rob gets to tuck into 2 chicken drumsticks and a pile of crisps.
Are you going to eat much of that?
Yeah, I think I will. Do you think you're going to be satisfied after eating that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's actually filling me up.
Is it? I found this meal so much easier than food yesterday. Kind of enjoyed it as well. And felt that I've sort of eaten loads more than I would have done before.
What are you going to eat more when you leave here?
I think the most important thing I've learned is eating breakfast and lunch. You know, regardless of what it is, to eat something.
I really enjoyed this meal. I'm comfortable, full.
Good. It's really nice to hear.
So the time has come for Dr. Christian to hand over their healthy eating plans.
You've done your time here in the feeding clinic and you are off home. Rob, that is your diet plan.
Rob's diet plan is designed to switch his eating from mindless to mindful. He'll be on 3,000 calories a day, swapping cola for sugar-free alternatives and cream cakes for healthier snacks, such as low-fat yoghurt and mini snack bars. Hayley's plan will see her daily calorie intake more than double, to 2,200. As well as starting each day with breakfast, she needs to eat starchy foods such as bread, brown rice and pasta, which will reduce her need for quick sugar fixes.
I think you're both going to do really well, and I wish you the best of luck. OK? Bye-bye.
It's been an eye-opener. And I'm quite overwhelming, emotional. I'm going to stand up for myself more, say no a lot more, and get this weight off.
I've gone from barely touching a meal to now not even mentioning it, just getting down and eating it. It was really sort of quite impressive. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, goodbye then.
Good luck with everything.
Keep in touch.
See you in a few weeks.
Bye now.
Bye.
Rob and Hayley will be back in 2 months' time to show Dr. Christian how they've got on without him. It's been 9 weeks since cake-loving Rob Gillett and chronic food dodger Hayley Payne left the feeding clinic. But hyperactive Hayley's not been running around quite as much just lately.
I'm on crutches because I ran up the stairs without turning the light on and ran straight into a wall and, yeah, broke my toe.
It's time to find out if they've stuck to the healthy eating plans.
Today, I'm hoping to see a good sort of half a stone would be nice. Sort of anything up to that would be fantastic.
So how's it all been going? You're looking very well indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been going really, really well. I've really enjoyed it as well. Found it really difficult to begin with.
What did you find hard? Tell me.
I felt like I was force-feeding myself.
Because you kind of were, I suppose,
yeah.
weren't you? But did that gradually change into a sort of more normal way of life?
I started getting more and more hungry, more regularly, which was really different for me.
I mean, clearly you're oozing confidence, because you look great.
It's much easier to look in the mirror now, rather than seeing sort of skin and bones. I'm actually sort of seeing a bit more of a shape, which is lovely.
You mentioned that you'd quite like to have children in the future. Do you feel that you have a more healthy base from which to do that now?
Yeah, I mean, before it really worried me. I wanted to have it as part of my future plans. Now, as I'm really getting the hang of looking after myself, I know that's definitely going to be able to be in my future.
That's really good to hear. Good, I'm delighted. Thanks, Hayley. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your help.
It's been really exciting today. I'm looking forward to my way in to see how much I've lost. It's been a really good experience so far. I just hope I've lost a bit of weight.
So tell me what you've been doing. What changes have you made?
More fruit, more veg, cut out the rubbish, I call it, like the sweets, the cream cakes.
Oh, the cream cakes are no more or just less?
No, no more.
Do you miss them?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
And so tell me, what are you noticing about your body? What's changing?
My stomach's going down. I'm losing, like, my man boobs.
They've gone down a bit, haven't they?
A lot.
Excellent. You're happy with that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm more active than I was.
So what sort of things are you doing activity-wise?
Swimming.
Really?
3 times a week. Gym 3 times a week.
That's really good news. I'm delighted.
Time for Rob and Hayley to be reacquainted.
Are you all right?
What's happened to you then?
I broke my toe. How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing? You looking well?
Thank you. You look really healthy.
And you're looking young as well.
Oh, thank you.
Right, Rob, you old charmer, you. Listen to you go at her. Didn't she look great?
Yeah, she does.
I think you've both done me proud. I have to say, I'm going to put you out of your misery right at the beginning and tell you you've done all right, both of you. Hayley, I'm going to start off with you.
Okay.
I think, you know, it was going to be hard work with you. There were a lot of things to change, but somehow you managed to turn it around. You've done fantastically well. You've put on just under half a stone. You've put on 6 pounds, which is amazing. And 3 inches round your hips. And you're going to love this one. 2 inches on your boobs. Happy?
Yeah,
I thought you would be. And you ain't done so bad either, mister. I was worried about you, Rob. I'll be honest. I thought the sense of denial that you had was so big. But you've done all right. You've lost 1 stone, 10 pounds. You're getting on for 2 stone already. And 10 inches you've lost off your tummy.
Really?
And 5 from around your thighs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really well deserved, because you've clearly worked hard at this, and I'm really proud of the both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3 inches on my hips and 2 inches on my boobs. That is exactly what I wanted. I said boobs and bum, that's all I'm after. So really, really chuffed with that.
I And now I know I've lost 1 stone, 10 pounds, I feel more healthier, lighter, I'm going to go home and lose even more.
Next week, Supersizer Jeff swaps diets with Superskinny Josh.
I don't view that I eat excessively. I don't think he'd be able to be that big if he was to eat like a normal person.
We meet someone for whom food isn't the only obsession.
When I don't do the exercises that I set myself out to do, I just feel like something bad's going to happen.
And Dr. Christian's back in Evansville, America's fattest city.
This must have been an awful shock to be told you have to lose your leg.
I'd rather be without a leg than dead.
Dark secrets and deep trouble for the men of Chatsworth. They're going in with a map and a plan for cash at 10 in Shameless. But coming up, all about the gorgers. That's non-travellers and what happens when you marry one in a big fat gypsy wedding.